Welcome back to the Bitcoin Digital Course, episode number 4. Backing up your seed phrases. What are your seed phrases? How do you back them up? How can you store them? What is the absolute best way to do this? Now, there's two options. Now, the option number 1, which I think is the option we're going to talk about now, is going to be this washer set. So I'm going to go over this washer set and show you. But I like this idea because now all I have to do, since I have this plate and I have the stamps and I have the hammer, in theory, all I need to do is get a set of washers that are the same size as this. They'll fit right into this template. And this way, like I do, every time you get one whole Bitcoin, you put that Bitcoin onto a wallet, you keep that separate. I got every single Bitcoin I own would be placed onto a separate wallet. So this way might be a little bit more expensive off the bat. Maybe we'll say like $100 to back up your seed phrases. When you get the stamps, the kit, the whole 9 yards, everything that goes into it, let's say it's $100. Okay, $100. Next time, anytime you want to back up a seed phrase, you just need, 30 washers, and you get those at any hardware store for probably 5 cents a piece. So the next wallet only costs you $1 and $1 and $1 and $1. Or we can go into other options, and let's talk about those other options. So if you missed the first tutorial in lessons 1, 2, or 3, what a seed phrase is, these are your private keys. These are your secret words that if you break your device, you need to have access to, because when you go to download, let's say Blue Wallet, for example, we go into the App Store, we download Blue Wallet, and we're going to choose the option that says Restore Wallet or Import Wallet. If you break your phone and you have to re-import your wallet, you're going to need these 12 or 24 words to re-import that wallet. So in order to do that, you have to back them up, and you need to put them on something metal. That way, if they burn or your house catches on fire, your keys are going to be okay. And you can see these washers can obviously withstand some serious heat. So I want to kind of walk you through the different ways that you can back up these seed phrases. And I'm just going to give you guys my personal favorites. So I wanted to before we get into this, I wanted to make sure that everybody has an option that fits your pay level. So personally, you can do this on a sheet of metal. You don't even have to buy one of these plates off of Amazon. Here's one right here, guys, for $6.99. Right here, cryptocurrency, stainless steel, 24 words for $6.99. So you can literally get that, get a stamp set, or you can literally engrave them yourself by scribing them in. You can get any sheet of metal. So please, 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 if you guys are on a budget, I would much rather you spend $200 and get $200 in Bitcoin than I would you spending $200 and getting a metal plate that's custom and easy and convenient. Now, this LE-Pay is really nice. If you think you're only going to have one Bitcoin wallet and you're probably never going to have a second, and you're just going to try to save up till you get up to 1 Bitcoin, and that's going to be your goal, or less than 1 Bitcoin, just having one wallet is sufficient. Now, this plate right here is really unique. Now, this is kind of confusing for people that are new to crypto, because you're like, why aren't I writing down the whole word? Why am I only putting in the first 4 characters? Well, I'm glad you asked. So this booklet that I'm looking at right here has a list of every possible word. So this list goes up to 2,048. So there's only, out of all the words that your seed could be derived from, there's only 2,048 words, which means that no 2 words have the first same 4 characters identical. So if you're typing in the word Matta, once you type in Matt, guaranteed that the only option it's going to give you is Matta. So it's super unique. And what's unique about that is you can go into this list, and once like let's take a look at the screen here, and we see the word VITA. So if I scroll through here and I look to the word V, and you can download this list anywhere online, and it's VITA. And the only option is vital, right? So I can look in this book. So if I have this and I open it, I'm like, okay, vital. Even if I needed the whole word, because sometimes when you're importing a wallet, they want you to put in all of the words and letter sensitive and perfectly spaced out and everything like that, and you need the whole word, you can literally just go on to any website. You can get this actually list of these 2,048 words, and then you could just obviously finish the words yourself. So that is why that is one option. And what's nice about this option is, if you see over here on the bottom, it comes with these pre-stamped letters. So this plate unscrews, you unscrew it and you literally just slide in your letters one by one. There's more than enough that comes with a ton of extra letters. So you don't ever have to worry about being short on letters or not having the proper amount, letters that you need to put into these pallets or into this plate. And then you screw it back on top and it locks those letters in there so they can't come out. And you can see right here how simple and easy that is. That, in my personal opinion, if you're just going to have one wallet, it's the truth. It was so nice and so convenient doing it that way versus having to get out my stamp and hammer. But if you're like me and you plan to have multiple wallets, this washer setup is so freaking cool. See how you can see it stamped 21 on there? It says money, it says the word, and it keeps the numbers separate from the words because it has this template that you're looking at right here. So what's really cool about this, sorry, the mic's gonna be a little bit shitty on this one, but I just wanna show you guys. So what happens is your washer, this right here, this little piece, it kind of looks round in the video, but it's actually a hexagon. And on your washers, there's a hexagon cut out instead of it just being a perfect circle. So yeah, maybe the washers at Home Depot might not actually work because you need them to be in that hexagon shape so they lock on there. But I'm sure you can order some custom washers like that and you can get them somewhere. I'll have to look into that because this was so freaking convenient in the way that, like, I've stamped the metal plates before and it's hard to get your plate to stay perfect on your table when you're smashing it. And then you're trying to guess where you want to put the next character. This actually perfectly spaced out those keys. So that's an option right there. This is the option we're going to go with. And I just wanted to make this video because this is the most important part, folks. Out of anything that you learn here, take this part seriously. You have to back up these keys. These keys are how you restore your wallet. Welcome back to the Bitcoin Digital course. This is lesson 4. In today's episode, we are going to talk about setting up and backing up your seed phrase. This is probably one of the most important aspects of this entire course. This is how you guarantee that you keep your Bitcoin safe. And this is the only way that I would actually secure large amounts of Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the CoinKite cold card. So if we swing over to CoinKite's website, this is the absolute cream of the crop, best, hands down. There is no better way to store your Bitcoin, in my personal opinion, than the cold card queue. That's what we're looking at right here. This is this product right here. So it's $239. You get the bundle with memory cards. You can get it for $289. Obviously, these are just basic, micro SD cards. And the fact that they're charging you $50, in my personal opinion, for 2 micro SDs that are 32 gigs and they're V1s is absolute insanity. So I would suggest just getting the card itself. And then from there, you can actually add additional products as well. Now, if you want to get the multi-sig bundle, which I also would recommend, we have that set up. We have that tutorial as well that we're going to walk you through how to set up those tap signers and everything as well. So you can have a multi-sig option. But in my personal opinion right here, this Q card is just the way to go. We're going to walk through the setup process and mainly the backing up of the keys. So I have another video that I did with Jamie, the CEO of the Bitcoin hardware store, or one of the CEOs of the Bitcoin hardware store. Jamie's going to walk you guys through the entire setup process and how to set up this Q card and set it up with multi-sig in an air gap fashion. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through here and I'm going to get the seed phrase out of this device. And I'm going to teach you guys how we actually go about backing up that seed phrase on a metal plate or washers. We're going to use, this is a Seedor's washer kit. They sell the whole bundle. I ended up just buying the actual plate and this because I already have the punches and I already have the hammer as well. So what devices or what items we're going to need to start off with. So to start things off, I want to just get the list of products that we're going to need for this tutorial. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need 5 30-second punches. I think you can go as big as a 1/8 as well, but these are 5 30-seconds. So this is a 5 30-seconds letter and number set by Tecton. I got this on Amazon. I believe I left links in the QR code will be down below or on the screen. Any basic hammer that you get at Walmart, Myers, Home Depot, any little basic hammer, the more heavy duty the hammer, the better, honestly. These are smaller than I would like, but I don't know what my dad just did with all my tools. So they're working on the garage right now. The next thing we're going to need is I'm going to be using the washer set. So you're going to need an actual disc. On Etsy, you can get these because people actually 3D print the actual device for these. So it's really cool. We're just going to use the one that we have here. When you're opening the Q card specifically, it's really important because inside this packaging, they're going to give you something very, very important. So as soon as you open this, you want to always make sure and verify that the package is completely sealed. And inside this package, there's a serial number. This number is very, very important. The next thing we're going to need is we're actually going to need batteries. We're going to place the batteries in the back of our device. Using this product, you're accepting the terms of sales, blah, 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 blah. You're just going to choose enter. All right. The next thing it's going to say is your cold card should have arrived sealed in the bag with a number above. Please take a moment to confirm that the number that you look. Please take a moment to confirm the number and look for any signs of tampering. Take a picture and contact support if you've had any issues. The next step it's going to ask us to do here is it's going to ask us to choose a PIN code. This PIN code is very important. This is the most important part. There is no way to reset this. There is no way to factory default and wipe this PIN. This PIN is permanent, and if you lose it, the device is bricked. Now you can change it and alter it, but in order to change it, you actually have to have it. So very important, make sure you are writing this PIN down. It's going to tell you again that there's no way that you can ever wipe this PIN, and it's telling you to press 6 to let them know that you've read this and you understand what you're doing. Okay. So now we're going to enter our PIN. And then after you enter the PIN, it's going to give you 2 words. Now, I'm not going to say mine out loud because these are your anti-phishing phrases. So if for some reason you type in the word or somebody types in they change, they're like spoofing your card, and you type in the first PIN and you don't see these 2 words and they don't match your phrase, your seed words, because these words are devised from that PIN that you put in there. So if you don't see those exact 2 words, it means that something's not right. And those words right now are right below my pen. So I put my pen on top of the screen to cover it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. After you've entered your PIN the first time, it's going to ask you to confirm it one more time. So we're just going to go back through, and this is going to guarantee that we know what our PIN is and that our PIN matches. And then it's just going to say saving. It's going to take a second. And it's going to ask you, what do you want to do next? So we're going to choose, because we're not backing up our seed phrases, we're going to create a new seed phrase. But you see where it says import existing seed phrase? That would be like, for example, if you broke this device and you buy a new one and you want to get your Bitcoin back onto this wallet, you need these words that we're going to generate right now. So that's why it's so important to have these words and to back them up on a metal plate, because if you just write them on this piece of paper and you put them in your safe and your house burns down, it's gone. There's no getting it back. And then the next thing it's going to ask you is how many words. You can do 12, 24, or advanced options. We're just going to choose 24. And now what it's going to do is it's going to start generating. I was trying to take a photo of the generating part for you guys so you could see it. And I took that photo at the last second right before it started to display all those words. So now what we're going to do on our sheet of paper right here, we're going to write the numbers 1 through 24. And we're going to make sure we're very specific in the order, because if we get one of these words out of order, you're screwed. Absolutely screwed. So let's just go through here. Let's take our time and let's start off by numbering our sheet of paper 1 through 24. And this is going to take some time. All right. Now that we have them wrote down, I'm just going to go through this one more time. I'm just going to make sure that every one of these is wrote down right. Now I'm going to press the enter. And it's going to ask me for a check. So first off, it's going to ask me, what is word number 9? And then you're going to have to go tell it, what is word number 9? And it's going to go through a ton of these, probably all 24. Then it'll ask you word number 5, word number 7, 21. All right, looks like it went through every single word to make sure that you knew exactly what every single word was, that you had them all wrote down correctly. And that's the way for it to basically verify. And it says applying. Now it says your cold card has been configured and for best security practices. And now our card is activated. So now we've set up our coin card, our cold card queue. But what we need to do, and most important, what this whole tutorial is about backing up these seed phrases. So now we're going to back up these seed phrases, and then I'll teach you how to go into that card and actually get your addresses as well, because that's how we're going to do it. We're going to send our Bitcoin to this wallet. And once we have it here, we can put this in a safe, and we never actually have to get this out of a safe. because of the block explorer, which I'm also going to teach you in this episode as well, and probably another episode in itself. But specifically, I'm going to show you guys how to actually back up these seed phrases. So let's do that right now. So we have our words, we have our seed phrases, we have our washer set. And how this washer set is you have positions 0 and 1, and your 1 and your 0 are for your numbers. So we're going to first get out our number set, and we want to make sure we put 0, 1 on these washers. So we're going to take out our washers. We're going to undo our washer set. And this is the C-door washer kit. And this thing just unscrews right here. And all of your washers are going to be able to be laid out. And we're going to have to do 24 of these. This is going to be painstakingly painful. So what's really nice about this set is the center of these washers, they have a hexagon. So the washer is actually locked onto this plate. And what that allows us to do is it means it's not going to spin. So we're going to set our punch in the 1 position. And we're going to get out the punch 0. And the first thing we're going to do, you see how our punch sets in there like that? You guys can kind of see it there. We have it on position 1. And we're going to put a 0 in there. And then the next one we're going to do is we're going to turn this dial 1 position to the right. And we're going to put the 1. So it'll be 0, 1. And then it's going to skip halfway around the washer or a quarter way around the washer. And we're going to start to put in our first word. So this is going to be painful, folks. So just bear with us. We're going to take our time. We're going to do it right. So what you guys can't see is over here is I have a table set up. I got a chair. And I'm just going to take a hammer. And I punch that sucker. Now what I should be able to do is if I take this out, you can see it put a perfect 0 onto that washer. This thing's really freaking nice. Wow. This is so much. This is the first time I've ever used one like this. This is so much nicer than the way I've done it before. Wow. I will be doing all my seed phrases this way moving forward. That was so nice. So I'm just going to take So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my whole set over here, and I'm just going to do these one by one by one. I got the whole set over here. I'm just going to do these all one by one so you guys can see it. I'm now working on word 2. And you can see how long this is going to take based off of what we've done so far. So yeah, it's going to take a while. What I'm doing is as I'm completing each one of these washers, I'm just going to put the completed ones back in order. So 1 will be on the bottom all the way up. And then if I have extra washers, I'm actually going to do the seed words as well. The fishing words as well. And what's really nice about this set is because the way that this thing is actually designed, like if I'm taking a look at this piece right here, see there's that little hole there? See how there's that little hole there that you could see through? When I'm looking at it, I can actually see that my number has been stamped in there and that it's stamped in properly. And now that one I put the 3 backwards, but hey, you live, you learn, right? And you want to make sure that when you're punching these, guys, give it everything you got. Don't hold back. You want to make sure that these are indented into this washer rock solid. This is by far the best set I've ever seen, folks. I'm not just saying that either. I thought this was gonna suck and I was gonna have to kind of like pretend like it was cool. This thing is so well put together. It's hard to explain how nice this is compared to other sets. We're gonna see if we have extra washers. That's gonna be the determining factor. Because if they only give you the exact amount of washers you need and you fuck one of these up, which is very feasible. Now again, I only need to technically write down the first 4 letters, but I like to be OCD. And just in case something ever happened to me and my son had to recover this, I want to make sure that all the words are spelled out, so there's no confusion for somebody that's new to this. So far what we've done is we've done 8 words in about 25 minutes. So we're going to keep going at this until we get all 24 words done. And this is where people make the biggest mistake, folks. I beg you, do not rush this. Do not skip this process. Do not say, I'm going to come back and do it later, because I promise you're going to write these words down. You're going to throw them in a junk drawer. You're going to put them in a bag somewhere. You're going to put them inside of a book or an envelope. And you're like, oh, that's where all my secret stuff is. And you're not going to do it. And then by one day, something bad's going to happen and you're going to beg. You're going to be crying that you cannot find those words. The amount of people that have called me and said, Ryan, I will give you tens of thousands, $100,000 if you can help me get into this Bitcoin wallet. I do not know where my words are. Sorry, guys, I cannot help you. So we're going to keep going at this. We got to jump on a Twitter space. We're going to try to multitask at the same time and see if we can't do this and a Twitter space at the same time. So bear with me. I'm going to grab a drink. We're going to get back at it. All right, folks. Well, that took about an hour, give or take, to stamp in 24 of these words. So not only did I stamp in the 24 words, I've also stamped in both pins. So I was able to get, it came with extra washers. So on washer, I wrote pin 1 and I wrote the numbers. I wrote pin 2, stamped in the numbers. And then it also came with 2 phishing phrases. So I stamped in those on their own separate plates as well. And then on top of that, this cool little vial allowed me to put a sheet of paper in here. So I was able to type some notes. So that way, if anything happens to me, I pass away, all my son has to do is pull that paper out, read the notes. I know it's on paper. He'll be able to put the pieces together, be able to figure out either way, because I've coached him and he understands how Bitcoin wallets work. But just in case something happens, it's all safe in here. So now what we have is that we have our cue card ready to go. It has the amount of Bitcoin that we put on it. I don't suggest putting any more than 1 Bitcoin per wallet. It's just kind of my motto, my standard. Every time I get a full Bitcoin, it's worth it to me to have that Bitcoin on a separate wallet. Just in case anything happens to one of them, you don't have all of your eggs in one basket. I've made this mistake so many times in crypto. I put all my eggs in one basket and something happens to that basket and you're completely SOL. Nothing would suck more than working your life away to maybe acquire, let's say 3 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin. Having them all on one wallet and then just boop, it's gone. All gone. All of that work, all that effort, everything that you did, just gone. So that's why it's really important, I think, to separate them. So what I suggest you do is you figure out a spot to hide them, wherever you're going to put them. You put your keys, you put your wallet together, and you put it away. Now, I'll show you with the different wallets. That way we're not advertising our balances or our wallet addresses. But I'll show you guys in the next video how to actually locate this. All right, so what I suggest you do is I suggest you get 1 Bitcoin per wallet. You know, it's $200. If you got a whole Bitcoin on it, that's $100,000, right? So I think you can afford to spend the $200 to get a cold card, get it on there, buy the extra seed phrase. Maybe it's $300 total, but then you put them together and you put them in a safe spot. You hide that sucker. I suggest you go above and beyond. You can get the fireproof bags. You put your wallets in a fireproof bag. And then that way, at the very least, you got yourself in a nice, safe place. It's fireproof. You don't have to worry about anybody else stealing it. And then every time you get a whole nother extra whole Bitcoin, stack them up, folks. Stack them up. One last thing I want to add. I want to go over to this gentleman's YouTube channel. And his name is BTC Sessions. We should just call him the Bitcoin Guru. People want to call him the... What the hell? Oh, I was going to say, it said I was unsubscribed. Okay, we got all notifications on. This is one thing that you should do. If there's any one YouTuber that you want to consistently follow and you want to make sure that every time he puts out a video, you're paying attention, especially a tutorial, it's Ben. No matter how great or how amazing you think my tutorials are, Ben is the top G. So if you've bought the Q Card wallet, even though we're going to have a step-by-step tutorial for you, if you want to understand every single detail about how this wallet works or anything about any Bitcoin wallet, Ben is your go-to guy. I could not speak more highly of anybody than Ben. And if you just come over here on his profile and you just type in Q Card, you're going to see these amazing tutorials that are some of the best tutorials I've ever seen out of any product, anywhere. Ben is your absolute top G. This is the man you want to follow. Hopefully one day we'll be blessed with the opportunity to interview Ben. He's one of the top Bitcoiners that when I'm going to be putting together this Bitcoin documentary, it's people like Ben that I have so many questions for. And I think it would be such an amazing insight into Bitcoin and his journey personally. So hopefully we'll get Ben on the channel one of these days. Make sure you guys swing over there and follow at BTC Sessions. And again, anything, any products, any devices, anything that I'm talking about in this digital course, Ben has already done it, and it's most likely 10 times better than mine. So God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. Stack sats. Save humanity. Peace.